What's up, YouTube? This is Bar911970. As always, I thank you guys for watching my channel. So I thought I would make one more video before I start my day. Alright, guys. The whole situation in North Korea. Scary, isn't it? I've even had people on my Facebook account talk about what could possibly happen. Would there be a nuclear war? Is there going to be war? What's going to happen? Notice how I'm not packing my bags and telling everybody to get the hell out. Why is that? Well, because the United States of America Corporation and other NATO countries around the world that join in the festivities, and I say that very facetiously, do not attack countries that have nuclear weapons. If you notice, they attack and control countries that don't have nuclear weapons. There is not going to be a conflict with North Korea. There's going to be a lot of talk about it, because if we've learned anything about the governments around the world and mainstream media all around the world, is fear is an emotional tool to get people to submit to whatever agenda they want to have created. Fear is also a great distraction. Think of it this way. North Korea has a nuclear weapon. North Korea is a very small country. The United States of America Corporation and other NATO countries have plenty of nuclear weapons, enough to destroy North Korea 100 times over. Now, as powerful as a nuclear weapon is, it does still have limited damage that it can do. You can't just launch one nuclear weapon into the United States and destroy the entire country. Think of North Korea like a teenager who got a fully automatic machine gun. Do you think that person would be crazy enough to go, let's just say, to a Marine base filled with Marines that have tanks, bulletproof vests, hundreds if not thousands of soldiers, all fully armed to the teeth? Do you think that one person's going to go in there and start shooting up people? Now, if he did, and if he was crazy enough to do it, might get a few people, might catch a few off guard. But he's not going to single-handedly take over an entire Marine headquarters. They're going to slaughter him. So he might get one or two, maybe even get 4 or 5. But in the end, he'll be destroyed, and threat is now gone. Don't you think the government in North Korea realizes that? They're a small little country. They have a nuclear weapon. They, I guarantee, know, even if the media doesn't tell you this, that if they tried to launch an attack, the response would be instant, and there would be no such thing as North Korea anymore. It'd be wiped off the map. And also, if you think if a bomb explodes in one area, nuclear weapon with radioactivity, if you think it's just going to stay in that one location, you're crazy. So do you think any country surrounding North Korea is not going to be affected? Do you think they're going to want that to happen? Do you think China is just going to sit by? Do you think Japan is going to have to go through another problem? I mean, have we learned from Fukushima? I mean, whether people want to realize this or not, just because the media stopped talking about Fukushima does not mean the radioactivity just disappeared. That it's not still affecting and still will continue to affect our atmosphere and the water surrounding it. So to all of you out there who are new to this, who still listen to Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, all these mainstream media corporations, because that's what they are. 6 corporations own about 90% of the media that you see, hear, and read about throughout the world. It can get scary, but that's what they do. Fear makes you submit. Oh my God, protect me, save me, what do I do? Give us the answers. I mean, look at Cyprus. The people there got a haircut, a nice term, for stealing your money. And what they did was, for almost 2 weeks, they prevented people from taking out their money. Now, because people weren't prepared for this, because people didn't have things like physical gold and silver, and they couldn't buy things, and they put their trust in banks that guarantee them their protection, all of a sudden, couldn't get their money for 2 weeks, were working and getting paychecks that they could deposit, but couldn't get any money out. All of a sudden, the banks say, all right, well, we're going to take a certain percentage from the people, and now you're allowed to have $300. Here's $300 or 300 euros of your money. We're going to limit it. And they're all like, thank you, thank you. Now I could buy food. Now I could pay my rent. Now I could do this. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Thank you for allowing me to have what was mine. In limited form, by the way. See how easy the sheeple of the world easily submit? Because they were scared of losing everything. The banks shut down. They couldn't get food. They couldn't pay their bills. They were panicking. And then all of a sudden, the powers that be, the banks and everything, say, oh, here's some scraps. Here's what's yours that we took. But instead of not letting you have any of it for a while and let you think about that and get worried, we're going to give you a little taste of it. And you're going to thank us for it. See how easily people can be controlled and how manipulated through fear? If you want to continue that trend, listen to the mainstream media, listen to the governments. They want you to be afraid of North Korea. Why? Because it distracts you from all the other things that they're doing. It's all hand in mirrors, people. If you think North Korea is just that stupid, first of all, if they were, do you think they would warn people about it? Don't you think they would just attack? Isn't surprise the best way if you're going to initiate a war? You're not going to go and call the people you're about to attack and say, listen, I just wanted to let you know on Thursday at 4 o'clock we're going to launch a nuclear missile. So, yeah, put that on the mainstream media news and alert the whole world about it because, you know, we're nice when we kill. No. So, if you want to believe these things, go right ahead. It's your right to believe and be in fear and be controlled. I made a video month and a half ago about saying how there will never be a nuclear war. My thoughts haven't changed. You don't live in fear because fear will make you have emotions that will go beyond logic and reason, and that's why there are people that will survive in this world no matter what, and people that will always die no matter what. And that's why when you're in a building where there's fire, the people who panic are the ones that get engulfed with smoke. And unfortunately, my own father had to find that out the hard way when he died last year in a fire. If he would have stayed down in his basement where he was at the time and didn't open the door or thought about it or checked the door for heat or wore something to protect himself or tried to climb out a window in the basement, he'd be alive today. But I can guarantee, because it was late at night, there was a lot of confusion, it was dark, there was only emotion and panic, opened the door, walked out 2 steps, and collapsed where he was and died. Those are the people who don't make it. And I love my father to death. Literally. The ones that stop and think are the ones that survive. Now, there's no guarantee in life, but you have a better chance of survival. So if you want to believe in your heart that North Korea or anywhere else is going to start a nuclear war and destroy the entire planet for hundreds of years so these elite people can live underground with polluted water, whatever amount they can have, the air gone, the atmosphere destroyed, and possibly the earth, who knows what can happen in a full-out scale nuclear war. If you want to believe that, then continue to be controlled. This is why we need free thinkers, individuals, people that are not going to say, here, I'm putting my trust in something that's nothing but corrupt. I mean, can anybody say anything good about the governments and the banking system? Our politicians? Do you really trust them? But yet we put our faith in them over and over again and say, here, help us. We don't know how to do things on our own. Is it any wonder why they manipulate you through music, through television, through movies, through propaganda? They do it for a reason. If you're not awakened to it at this point, I mean, you know, there's no helping you. Some people are going to sit there and say, you know, la, 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 la. Can't see it, can't hear it, don't want to talk about it. Ignoring things doesn't make it go away. It allows it to continue. Stop brushing your teeth. Ignore that and tell me anything good will come out of it. the same thing with the government, with the same thing with our future, with your children's future. If you don't give a crap about your own life, how about your kids? How about your grandkids? Because you think you got it bad now. If things continue the way they are, just imagine what your kids and grandkids are going to go through. You really want to be having that on your legacy? So, you can believe whatever you want about North Korea, about any other country. They're using it as a distraction, so while you're focusing in one particular way, they're doing something else that's really pretty much going to be stealing something of yours. So they get to gamble. They say, well, we're playing with house's money. We can gamble all we want, because especially in the United States of America Corporation, we could print all the money we want. Anybody ever stop and think, well, if the government and the Fed can print all the money they want to infinity, well, instead of just bailing out the banks, why don't they just give each person $1 billion? Solve the problem really quick. No one would need food stamps. No one would need government assistance. There wouldn't be any financial problems. People wouldn't have to work. How come they don't do that? How come they only bail out the banks? How come they're not bailing out the citizens? None of us would have to work again if all we had to do was print money. So why aren't they doing that? Look at another distraction. I guarantee you, if you're on Facebook, you know at least one person, if not more, that have that red or pink and white equal sign. That's talking about gay marriage. Now, I have no problem with anybody doing anything they want in their life as long as they're not infringing on the rights of others. So if a gay person wants to marry another gay person, whether it be male or female, if that's what they so desire, then God bless them. I don't believe in it, but it's who am I to say what somebody else can do in their own lives? But here it is. It's another distraction that instead of focusing on the banks and what had just happened in Cyprus, how they got this haircut, in other words, theft of their money, and all these other situations, they want you to talk about things that really don't affect the average person. And there are more people on my Facebook that are worried about gay couples than what's going on with their financial future. And again, I don't have a problem with anybody marrying whoever they want. If a guy wants to marry a dog, if that dog is fine with it, God bless them both. Who am I to judge? But we're so busy quick to judge other people and to have these distractions and not realize why it's being done at the times they're being done. I mean, look at when everybody was talking about Osama bin Laden. I'm sorry. I can't. Almost the same in a way. President Obama with his birth certificate. The day they were supposed to be coming out with it, all of a sudden they killed Osama bin Laden. These are not accidents. These are done on purpose. If you follow situations to their core, you will see that there is a reason behind them. And if you want to be controlled by fear, you're going to be led astray. And that's why things like, for example, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but things like Bitcoins, they are using your emotion to get into something that can make you money for a while. And some people will make money. But the majority of people will lose. And for whatever money you've made on Bitcoins, I guarantee you, there are 5 or 6 people at the top making 10,000 times more than you will make altogether in one day off of all the other people that they take advantage of. And that's why the system doesn't fail. It's because the people allow it to continue as long as they make some money. They don't care what happens down the road. That's like throwing garbage in a river. First couple of days, not really going to do much. First couple of weeks, still not going to do much. First couple of months, a little bit here and there, but nothing major. First couple of years, starting to see a little bit, but it's still pretty good. Eventually, you put so much in there, all the fish die, all the life is gone, and it's now undrinkable, unusable. But you don't worry about that because it doesn't happen to you right away, does it? So this is a dose of reality, and some people just don't like that. And I'm one of those people that I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect and I have all the answers. But I'm also not a follower. At least I'm not a follower anymore. I used to be a follower. I used to do what the government says. I used to agree with what MSNBC and other media stations would say. And then I stopped and thought about it and became a free thinker and started learning about the truth. And unless somebody can tell me that the government and the banks and all the people in charge are nothing but honorable people that do nothing but good for the citizens, then I ask you this. Why are you still following them? Why are you still putting your trust in them? Because I guarantee you, plenty of people, when they get their paycheck, They just put it in a bank and leave it there. What are you going to do one day if it comes to a bank near you where they take away your money and you're working, getting paid by check or automatic deposit, and you can't take your money out? You know, the average person, we learned this in Hurricane Sandy, the average person doesn't store enough food for more than a week, maybe 2 weeks, doesn't have gas stored, doesn't prepare. Just imagine 3-4 weeks go by, you can't get any of your access to any of your money. No more food in your house. You don't think that if the government and banks said, well, we're going to take 50% of your money, but we're going to give you some of it, you don't think people, the average person, is going to jump at that and say, oh, thank you, thank you? This is how they get away with it. Do what you want, guys. I've taken the majority of my money out of banks. I leave just enough in the bank to be able to pay my bills. I'm about the process of changing more over to a federal credit union. I'm sticking with the physical gold and silver. I'm not basing it on an electronic currency, a fad that's going to make some nice profits, and we don't know where the ceiling is, and we don't know how long it's going to last. I'm just not comfortable with it, and I'm not worried about North Korea, because I guarantee you, North Korea is not sitting there saying, boy, I can't wait to start a nuclear war and destroy our country. It's just not going to happen. But the media will tell you that. The government will tell you that. And they'll be sticking their hand in your pocket, stealing your money as they do it. Because they're all trying to help you, after all. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your day. Peace.